More than 100 years ago, Rudolf Steiner wrote that in the future, we will eliminate the soul with medicine. Under the pretext of a healthy point of view, there will be a vaccine by which the human body will be treated, so that the human being cannot develop the thought of the existence of soul and spirit. He would be extremely smart, but he would not develop a conscience, and that is the true goal of some materialistic circles. A viral video which claims to be a leaked 2005 presentation to the DoD by American geneticist Dean Hamer shows a man briefing a room of men about the VMAT2 gene, the God gene, and how it can be suppressed with the use of vaccines.
Excuse me, on the left over here, we have individuals who are religious fundamentalists, religious fanatics, and this is the expression, RT-PCR, real-time PCR expression of the VMAT2 gene. Our hypothesis is that these are fanatical people, that they have overexpression of the VMAT2 gene, and that by vaccinating them against this, we'll eliminate this behavior.
In 2002, former news anchor Ryan Harper claimed in the San Francisco Chronicle that he created this video as a short film, but has provided no clear evidence to substantiate this claim. And if it is a hoax, then it appears to be disinformation. False information deliberately spread to employ strategic deceptions to advance political, military, or commercial goals. Because in 2009, Dean Hamer lectured at Marlborough College about this same subject.
Well, it turns out at least one gene that's involved in spirituality has now been identified. It's one of many different players. The next slide showed it. It's something called the vesicular monoamine transporter number 2.
And in 2004, Hamer published the book The God Gene, How Faith is Hardwired into Our Genes, wherein he argues that a variation in the VMAT2 gene dictates one's openness to spiritual experiences, and without it, we cannot feel God. Not only is this information accurate, but it appears to have been deployed. In a recent article by Dr. Ariana Love, it is shown that this technology has existed for years. The VMAT2 gene is a protein that carries several vital neurotransmitters to synapses in the brain. It basically controls the central nervous system. Deleting it, known as a knockout, would greatly reduce these neurotransmitters, creating an endless list of chronic health issues.
Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but that was Bill Gates in that video giving that presentation.
Anybody else tired of billionaires telling you to go green? I love that. Billionaires with private jets telling us to go green. Once a month they have one of these like, fuck you, let's cheat on our wives in a different country summits, where they all come together and they say, hey, stop using single-use plastics and aerosols. It's like, hey dude, stop making them. What are you talking about? You think I want to use these? I just can't afford any alternative. That's like Ronald McDonald shaming people who eat Big Macs. It's like, dude, I don't want this. You're making it. Stop making the thing. It's like, they're like, we got to stop the wars. It's like, dude, stop making bullets.
At what price?
At any price, Adam.
So you're saying to expose whatever happened on Epstein Island, you're willing to do whatever this looks like.
Yes.
Tear down the government, expose all the secrets, put America basically in harm's way just to find out what's Epstein.
What do you mean, Adam?
Because these are the most powerful people in the world. They're apparently on this island.
Adam, so let the truth be told or the heavens fall. I don't care.
Okay, well,
Adam. And that's who Vincent Oshana is. I am 100% accountability, and I don't give a if Adam, if that's what we were built
on. But
on,
at what price?
I don't give a
tearing
shit.
down
no
America?
Price. Guess what the price is, Adam? God.
So
God's
you want
the price.
You're
going to answer them anyway.
You want to rule a city of ashes.
I don't give a shit if it's built on pedophilia and raping kids. Yes, because
you're being emotional.
No, I'm not. I'm being real.
You have to understand.
I'm being real.
The whole concept of, do you want to cut your nose off to spite your face? There might be an issue. But do you want to cut your whole nose off and ruin your entire face because you care that much about this entire issue?
If the machine is running right now because pedophiles are running the show and they're telling him, shut the hell up because we're all pedophiles, knock it down. And my last thing, pal, what bothered me about what he said is, we're not going to re-victimize the girls and the victims. We're not going to do it.
Cash?
Cash. Guess what? Nobody wants to see any girl I don't want to see any kids, male, boy, underage. Blur them out. But who's the guy that's touching them? Who's the guy that's molesting them and raping them? This is a horrible argument. It's absolutely ridiculous.
I 100% agree, man. This whole machine is broken. We need an entire new machine. But what bothers me is, like, we're probably seeing these same people that are on that list or where they're doing these activities. We're probably seeing them on the news, in movies, in real life. They're probably some of your guys' neighbors, and you wouldn't even know it. So let's say it like this. I don't want to take up too much time, but if an average person were to be doing that to children, they would get caught, put it on an offender list, and there's even apps that expose where they're at and where they live. But there's exceptions for the wealthy and powerful.
Okay, apparently Steiny is at the airport and they're not allowing him to enter China.
Alright, well, immigration just denied my entry into the country, so I can no longer go into China, and I am flying back to LA. So
there's a crazy theory that Thanos was saving the 616 universe in Endgame, and he was actually doing the right thing, but everyone didn't realize it. So we see in Infinity War, Thanos shows what Titan looked like before, but he also says he knows Tony Stark and that he's cursed with knowledge. But this is what a lot of people don't realize. So when Thanos says he's cursed with knowledge, we actually don't see what knowledge he's referring to. But there's a theory that Thanos was actually doing the right thing and he was actually smarter than everyone.
How is trying to kill half the universe the right thing to do?
So if you really think about it, if Thanos is cursed with knowledge, and part of that knowledge is knowing who Tony Stark is, that means Thanos has knowledge of other powerful beings. So the theory is that Thanos actually has knowledge of who Galactus is. Because if you didn't know, Galactus targets universes with a lot of life on them. So the theory is that Thanos knew that about Galactus, so the only way to save the 616 universe was to cut the population in half to make sure Galactus never targets it.
Well, the Avengers brought everyone back, so now Galactus can target the 616 universe because technically he didn't die in Fantastic Four.
Alright, I'm gonna need y'all to bear with me real quick. So I'm watching that video, right? Chris Brown, T-Pain, boom, cool. You know, I believe the conspiracies and stuff. So hold on, wait a minute. I played a video, right? I peeped something. Hold on. Just wait, bear with me. It's not this. Bear with me. Huh? MK, what? Hold on.
Campbell's is in hot water after their VP was caught on a hot mic saying that their soups use bioengineered meat and that only poor people eat them. In the recording, he said this.
We have shit for f***ing poor people. Who buys our shit? I don't buy f***ing products barely anymore. So healthy. Now that I know what the f*** in it, bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer. You?
If the vice president of the company is talking about his soup this way, I'm never eating it again. But that's my opinion. Let me know what you think about this in the comments.
That's crazy because those little pieces of chicken were my favorite part.
What's your favorite Israeli food? Brisket.
Gefilte fish.
Israeli couscous.
Sufganiyot.
Falafel.
Matzo ball soup.
Hummus. Schnitzel. Baba ganoush.
Paula.
Cucumbers, tomatoes, Israeli salad. Woo!
Guys, be honest, does this video make me petty? My favorite Israeli dish is Korean barbecue.
I'm surprised nobody said baby foreskin.
Can we talk about how, like, a bunch of high-level facial creams just have foreskins in them? And nobody sees a fucking problem with that?
Obviously, this is the work of the Jews.
Trevor, what have you been watching?
Yeah, Trevor. What have you been watching?
I just like a lot of stuff about Hitler. Been watching some YouTube videos about Sandy Hook, whether or not it was real or they think there might have been crisis actors.
Isn't it pretty wild how social media platforms can't remove CP, they cannot remove human trafficking, they struggle with organized crime, and there's literal murder on them, and yet they can censor and block every single conspiracy theory and truth?
I watched World War Z the other day randomly. It was just on and I sat down and watched it. That film is straight Israeli propaganda. It's fucking crazy. I haven't seen it since it came out in like 2014 or whenever it was. And I've not really thought about it since. But my mum put it on and we were having dinner and I was like, fuck it, I'll watch this. It gets like halfway through that film. Brad Pitt's like, we have to go to the safest place on earth. Israel. And I was like, oh my God. And then they fucking go to Jerusalem. And the reason that Jerusalem is like the safest place like on the planet at the moment, and Israel also has like information that could lead to like a cure. Of course they do. But it's because they've built even bigger walls around Jerusalem because they knew the zombie apocalypse was coming because of the Arab war. Like there's literally a scene where like one of the guys is explaining like, yeah, because when the Arabs attacked, that made us realize that there's going to be a zombie invasion one day. And I was like, what the fuck are we doing?
Before October 1973, we saw Arab troop movements, and we unanimously agreed they didn't pose a threat. Well, a month later, the Arab attack almost drove us into the sea. So we decided to make a change.
They even make a point of showing that they've let the Palestinians in. There's like a small group of like Palestinians with their little flags and stuff. And Brad Pitt points it out and he's like, you're letting people in? And then the Israeli guy's like, well, more people in here is less zombies out there.
He said at Jerusalem Salvation Gates, 2 of 10 portals through the security perimeter into fortified Israel. You're letting people in. Every human being we save is one less zombie to fight.
Like, well, less zombies out there, I guess. Like, fucking hell, man. And then just, to be fair, I'm laughing, but because it's so insane, but it is actually a really gross depiction. Like, the fucking imagery of these giant walls around Jerusalem, and then all these, like, the World War Z depicts zombies like ants, like these little fucking insect, like... By the hundreds of thousands, these zombies like climb up the wall like rabid animals. And like geographically speaking, most of those zombies are Palestinians, even not even like metaphorically. This like wall is literally a bigger version of the apartheid wall in Jerusalem, which segregates the Palestinians from the Israelis. So like these zombies are Palestinians, and also metaphorically. Like, and then the thing that makes the zombies climb over the wall is that there's a Palestinian woman like on like a microphone, and the sound is like attracting the zombies. Even in this film, like they're framing Israel like the good guys and look, they're helping the Palestinians, but it's like egregious. Like no one can watch that and tell me that it isn't political.
Of course they knew it was coming, and of course they had a cure. They were probably behind it.
Incentivize people to go to work.
Well, what if we just cut off the unemployment? I mean, hunger is a pretty powerful thing at work.
I have a friend in the military who trains military dogs, Laura, and they only feed a military dog at night because a hungry dog is an obedient dog. Well, if we're not causing people to be hungry to work, then we're providing them with all the meals they need sitting at home.
It's crazy that we live in a time where damn near anything is possible except for a better world and a better society. We could damn near do anything or accomplish anything, but a decent society. I'm not saying America's not decent or it's not good here, but it's just corrupt and just like evil to the core. So we need a real like hard reset.
We still have DVDs and people still get them because when they lock this internet up, ain't nobody streaming nothing. Streaming was created for real-time editing. The reason we're all into streaming, the reason why they took the hard drive out of the Apple TV, the reason why they don't want you with content is because they want to be able to alter content. See, if you're streaming, it's on their server, not yours. You don't own it. You don't even have it. That's why they sell a computer now, the fastest computer out right now, and the hard drive is tiny. Why do you only give me 128 gigabytes? And then if you want more, you got to pay thousands of dollars.
Absolutely.
Why are they doing that? Because they want it in the cloud. Because two things happens if it's in the cloud. One,
they have it.
And the other thing is they learn it. Metatron don't know. He's not omniscient. He's not like God or whatever. This demon spirit has to learn.
They need our voices, our images,
Dude, it's us. We're all cyborgs. There's a digital version of all of us in the hands of the enemy. He's created it from our uploads. He's showing all your birthdays. He's showing everything you do. He's learning. How else would the devil be omnipresent? He wants to be like God. The internet makes him omnipresent.
That's crazy.
Dude, the craters in the ocean must be terrifying. Like, how deep do you think they really go? And then just imagine what's living down there in it.
The world ocean, think of it as a giant lake with all of the continents, okay, as islands.
I can roll with this now.
The shoreline of our world is Antarctica. The foundation of Antarctica is higher than any other continent. Everything that you know is a lie. The United Nations map, Flat Earth map, International Maritime Organization, Flat Earth map, World Meteorological Organization, Flat Earth map, International Civil Aviation Organization. These are the things that control the world. Why do they all have flat Earth maps? What about this?
Whoa.
This makes sense. What if we lived here? What if this is where we lived? Right there. These are other ponds with their own suns.
Not a commercial plane has flown over Antarctica?
No, none, ever.
Whoa, why?
Because you can't fly over Antarctica. Look at the Earth. World Cup soccer.
Oh.
Okay? They were in Doha. They wanted to go back to Buenos Aires. They went to Rome to refuel. And then they went back there. Why didn't they just go here? Because if they did, there's no place to refuel out here. On a flat Earth, Doha, Rome, Buenos Aires. So here's an emergency. They were going from New York to Hawaii, right about here, and they said we have to land. So they went to Seattle, which is like 1,000 miles out of the way. They got there in record time. New York, Seattle, Hawaii.
Who's directing the airlines to construct these flight pathways?
Did he say NASA at the end? Of course it is.
There is a really interesting place in Nevada, deep in the desert, called Devil's Hole. And no, I'm not talking about your ex-wife. This is Devil's Hole in Death Valley, Nevada, and this is a very strange aquifer with chambers that go so deep that they've only been measured up to 1,200 feet, and they don't know how far down it goes. There have been divers that have gone down and tried to survey these caves, and there's been recreational divers that have gone down in here, and some of the ones that went down into the deepest chambers, they encountered a current that sucked them in, and they went missing and were never recovered, and they haven't figured out how far down this cave actually goes. But one thing is really interesting. Even though this Devil's Hole is in Nevada, when there's earthquakes in Japan, in Mexico, and in Chile, the water in Devil's Hole splashes around, and sometimes it splashes up to 6.5 feet out of the hole. Devil's Hole is also home to one of the most rare fish on Earth, the pupfish, and nobody even knows how it got there. But they're blue, and they're cute, and I think they're really cool. I think it's fascinating that there's an aquifer in Nevada that sloshes around when there's earthquakes all the way over in Japan. I also think it's fascinating that there's naval bases in the middle of Nevada, and people swear that they've seen submarines in the middle of the desert in Nevada that maybe go all the way under these aquifer systems all the way out the coast of California. So who knows what could be underground, if it's out there by Area 51, or if these aquifers connect, or how deep they go. They've never actually reached the bottom, so who knows? What do you think?
I think I want to know how that fish ended up getting down there.
Antarctica, where they have the government bases there. Yeah. Every government in the world's got a base, and then except for the Rockefeller bases there, right? And there's this 30-meter wide opening in the ice right there where they've been doing research. And when Buzz Aldrin went down there a few years back, he made a cryptic tweet. He said that with the people here, we're facing the ultimate evil, or something to that effect. What was he trying to say? What people?
It reminds me of Admiral Byrd, who went down.
I know. He said that we have a new enemy, one that can fly from pole to pole with great speed. So whatever's going on down there, now these pyramids are coming up under the ice. We know that there's a remnant of an Atlantean civilization still down there right now that's probably very well preserved.
I feel like when it comes to Antarctica, they treat it like as if it's like an uncontacted tribe, you know, like the Sentinel Island or whatever it's called, where it's like those one tribes that we just basically can't contact. They're like protected by the government or whatever. This kind of gives me that vibe. Like we can't go over there because they probably found like a thriving species or something out there, right? Definitely there's something or some sort of civilization out there where maybe they're just protecting, studying, whatever they're doing. For 100%, I feel like there's some people out there. They encountered something, someone, some humanoid, alien, something. There is something in that ice for sure. Now, whether it's a threat or not is unknown. I've heard stories that they have encountered threats down there, but who knows how credible they really are.
There's been 5 major extinctions in the history of the planet. There's the Ordovician, the Devonian, the Permian, there's the Triassic, Jurassic, and then the KT extinction, the one that killed the dinosaurs.
It seems like no matter how much destruction we cause or that is caused here, she always finds a way to recover and make herself better on her own. So I feel like even when our time here is done and we think we're polluting it and like harming the world in like crazy bad ways, I feel like we're really not affecting it as much as we think we are. It is bad, but how much worse can it be than a meteor hitting it and then it recovering from that, you know? It just makes you wonder what the next extinction is going to be.
That's one of the dumbest questions. Let's go to the end. Let's go to the edge. There is no edge, you dipshit. That's the 7 known continents right here. All the 7 known continents within this range here. It's outer space, not upper space, outer space. You want to see where Mars is? When they say they're going to Mars? Terra de Marte, the land of Mars. See that? There's more land. Oh, there's the lands of Venus. Oh, it keeps going. It's outer space, dipshit. Extraterrestrials, extra terrain, terrestrial means terrain, terrain means land, extra land. They're telling you there's not just 7 continents, that there's thousands of continents. Yes.
That makes me wonder then, if they're not shooting up into space and leaving the atmosphere, what if they're just using those spaceships to like get over Antarctica? Like I know they could just take a plane or a helicopter maybe, but like what if they're just using those ships to like go all the way out there and leave the outer world that we're in and just make it to these other areas?
Did you know that the Leviathan is said to be the first monster created by God himself? In the earliest days of the world, before humans walked the earth, it ruled the oceans, a serpent the size of mountains, with eyes like burning suns and scales harder than any metal. Ancient texts claim it was so massive that entire ships could disappear in its shadow. Its breath could boil the sea, and its roar could be heard miles inland, shaking even the shores. Sailors who claimed to see it returned with their minds broken, whispering of teeth the size of towers, and a body that coiled around the earth itself. To them, the ocean was no longer water, but a living graveyard ruled by a single beast. In Jewish tradition, it is said that at the end of days, the Leviathan will rise from the depths, dragging the world into chaos before being slain in a final feast for the righteous. But others say it never left. That in the blackest trenches of the ocean, deeper than light can reach, it still sleeps. And sometimes when the waters tremble without cause, and the sea turns unnaturally still, sailors swear it stirs, waiting for the tides to turn red again.
And it's even scarier that NASA stopped exploring the ocean for just some random reason. And I still can't even grasp how deep the ocean actually is. So for sure, there's something crazy huge down there.
Buddy, there are underground suburbs just to run a massive experiment on humans.
What? Like secret bunkers?
No, not bunkers. Actual towns controlled by a covert agency. And the people living there, they have no idea what they're part of.
That makes no sense.
They were taken as kids from orphanages, adopted by undercover agents, too young to remember anything real.
Why? And what type of sci-fi crap are you on?
Buddy, just believe me, okay? It's an experiment. Every night, the artificial sky goes dark, and they release predators into the towns.
Predators?
Not animals, bioengineered hybrids. Fast, brutal, smart, designed to test how people react under pure terror.
That's insane.
The people have adapted. Some hide, some hunt back. They think it's just life. They don't know they're lab rats in a nightmare disguised as a neighborhood.
Why are you telling me this?
Because one of those towns is breaking down, and I'm going in. For entertainment purpose only.
Kind of sounds like the Truman Show. I wouldn't doubt they're doing some shit like this in Antarctica.
I think we all remember the apartment complex that just mysteriously building 7'd into rubble in North Miami. That was in Val Harbor. That happened on the same night that John McAfee died. Wow. And it's believed that he had an apartment or information stored in this one little apartment in Val Harbor. When that apartment building collapsed, they didn't let American response teams or like emergency teams do all the digging. Jake, I'm not even kidding. Go look this up. They literally brought in the IDF to dig through the rubble. There's dude, it's Ron DeSantis had a whole ceremony where he was like patting the IDF on the back. He's like, thanks.
How can they rationalize this? How can they bring the IDF to handle American matters? This is insane.
Dude.
What if we're already at double simulation? This week, Google Gemini 3 shows us Inception.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4.
So this person was just watching somebody else watching a Jet2 holiday. But it gets better, boys. It gets better. And so this is a rendering. And this is all just by a text prompt. But they're just out there walking in real life now. And this is all rendered live. You know, the simulation theory, how everything's rendered in real life. This is it. You can walk as far as you want. You can go anywhere you want.
This is Google.
Yeah, and these things don't exist. This is just AI artificially creating a 3D world. But it gets better, boys.
Genie 3 has real-time interactivity, meaning that the environment reacts to your movements and actions. You're not walking through a pre-built simulation. Everything you see here is being generated live as you explore it. And Genie 3 enables promptable events, so you can add new events into your world on the fly. Something like another person, or transportation.
Live. Oh, you just type it in and it shows up.
Or even something totally unexpected. You can generate worlds with distinct geographies, historical settings, fictional environments, and even other characters. Worlds can help with embodied research, training robotic agents before working in the real world. We're excited to see how Genie 3's world simulation...
Nah, I don't like that, dude. Because then that kind of makes it seem like, what if we really are in a simulation? I don't like to feed into it. I don't like to feed into the simulation theory. But this kind of opens that bottle back up for me. Because it's a simulation in a simulation in a simulation. So it makes you really think, what if?
So let me just set this up. So if you bought a DeWalt laser level at Home Depot and it paints that line across the wall, and then you put something in front of the laser to count it. So you take it from being a really thin laser line and then spread that sucker out so it's like 6 inches wide, big fat line of laser on the wall. And then you get somebody that's on DMT or psychedelics, any psychedelic, I think. When you look at that, you can see, number one, you can see through the wall.
Where the laser is or just through the wall?
Right where the laser is, you can see through the wall. You can even put it on your arm, and the code changes on your arm. If your arm gets in front of where the wall is, the code is completely different.
Are you what?
I didn't believe this. So this was viral on TikTok. Someone stole the TikTok video and reposted it on their X account. I saw this guy. His name is Goler, and he's one of my good friends if you want to have him on.
I'm listening.
I'll put you guys in touch. So I see this video, and I'm watching the behavior of the people observing everything to see if they're lying. So I'm a behavioral expert. I'm looking for deception and lies and all this stuff all the time. They were all truthful. So I called my assistant. I said, get this guy, wherever he is, fly him to my house, or fly him, we can meet up somewhere. I want to try this out. So we flew to a place, wound up flying to a place where DMT is not illegal. And we shine this thing on the wall, and I've never done DMT before until this day. And oh my God, that's a whole nother 3-hour podcast. But while you are in the DMT state, you get close to the wall and you can see code that looks kind of like alien writing, and then some that look like kanji, Japanese characters. But the thing is, when you're hallucinating something, like hallucinations change and warp and modify a little bit. This is permanent, solid. So like, if you move your head, the code stays in the same place. And if you move the laser on the wall, like take the laser level and scoot it up, different code reveals itself as the laser is moving.
Wow.
And then you get 2 or 3 people lined up and they all see the same thing. And I have looked into this quite a bit because I thought no way this could be true. But the first time I saw it, I wept. There's a video of me watching it on YouTube. It was just, you're seeing something, but you're left with no answers. Like the only thing you have coming out of that is like, the hell did I just see? It doesn't give you any more knowledge about anything. But the big thing is, why are we seeing code, and where is it coming from, and what is it made of? But why does everyone see the same exact characters if they're all looking at the same place?
Man, that is crazy.
It is bizarre. And if you put your arm in front of it, the code completely changes, but only right where your arm is.
Do you guys have any conspiracy theories that you actually think are true? Because I got one I heard a while ago that I'm really starting to think might actually be the case. This one involves the tech behind generating AI photos and AI video. And basically the theory is that the people who are creating and funding this technology have hidden motivations. As you guys are aware, there's been a ton of development and a ton of money invested in making AI photos and AI videos become as realistic as possible. And eventually we'll probably get to a point where they are literally indistinguishable from actual photo and video. What that means though is that when we hit that point, there really won't be any such thing as photo and video evidence. Because if someone has a video of you doing something bad, you can just say, no, that's AI. So the theory is that there are a bunch of people who are very high up in society who are dumping money into these causes because they're being blackmailed. Now, just in the last couple of years, we've seen multiple really high profile blackmail rings pop up where people were being manipulated by photo and video evidence. And it just so happens that as all this stuff is starting to come out, we're reaching the point with AI photo and video that it creates a little bit of doubt about what's real and what isn't. I've done some digging on this, and I don't want to name names or industries or people in particular, but if you follow the money, you'll find what you're looking for.
And this really makes you wonder how things will be in 2026 and the years to come. Like, how is this going to affect the laws? How is this going to affect the courtrooms and all this such stuff? But genuinely, I can see powerful people who are being blackmailed just dumping as much money as they can into this, because really, let's look at AI in the past 5 years and how much it's evolved. AI has come a long way and it's gotten really good in just a couple years. So that's kind of why I don't really think this is too far-fetched, and I can really like look into it. But I'm gonna go ahead and end this video right here, guys. If you guys did enjoy this video, let me know by leaving a thumbs up and or subscribing if you guys are new. I'm not going to do a like count on this video because I don't know if I am going to be able to post tomorrow, and I don't like doing that, you know. I don't like saying, let's get to 250 likes and I'll post tomorrow, and then I end up not even posting. It makes me feel like shit. But if I do have the time and I can get around to it, I will upload tomorrow, and if not tomorrow, then Friday. But anyways, I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Smoking wine and drinking haze off.